Welcome back to Princess Poum's Storytime. Today's story is about Cassy, a kind and caring girl, but one who sometimes felt something very hard inside her heart. This is the story of anger and what happens when we can't always find the words for how we feel. Cassy loved her life. She loved playing hopscotch with her friends, reading books about faraway lands, and most of all, helping her family. Every morning, she helped Mommy make breakfast, and every evening, she helped Daddy clean up dinner. Cassy was a cheerful girl who always had a smile for everyone. But some days, something felt different. On those days, a frown creased her forehead. Her chest felt tight, her face felt hot, and her fists clenched even when she didn't want them to. Cassy was totally lost with these feelings. She just couldn't figure out how to make them go away. One day, Mommy asked, "Cassy, why are you frowning?" Cassy felt a little lost and didn't know what to say. So, she just shook her head and ran out of the room, feeling all mixed up inside. When Daddy asked, "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Cassy just shook her head again. Inside, she wanted to shout, "I don't know what's wrong. I just feel all mixed up." But the words wouldn't come. So instead, she stomped her feet, slammed her door, and everyone thought she was just being rude. It just made her feel worse. She knew she wasn't being nice. That night at dinner, Cassy pushed her vegetables around her plate. "Eat your dinner, Cassy," Mommy said gently. "It will make you feel better." But Cassy couldn't explain that it was no use. Nothing could fix her. The more she tried to hide her anger, the bigger it grew. It was like a storm cloud inside her chest, crashing, rumbling, swirling around with no place to go. The next day at school, her little sister asked, "Wanna play, Cassy?" Cassy snapped, "No." Even though she loved her sister, she just wanted to curl up and disappear. When her best friend said, "Wanna draw with me?" Cassy pushed the crayons away. The storm inside her wasn't only hurting others, it was hurting her most of all. Later that day, Mommy picked Cassy up from school and they walked home quietly. Cassy kicked a pebble along the sidewalk. She didn't want to talk. When they got home, instead of going to her room, Cassy asked to go to the backyard. She climbed onto the top step of the porch and leaned on the railing. "What's wrong, Cassy?" Mommy asked. "Why are you so sad?" Cassy turned to her. She wanted to tell her mother how she felt, but the words wouldn't come. All she could say was, "I don't know." So Mommy sat beside her on the step. She didn't scold her. She didn't ask 1,000 questions. She just held Cassy's hand and whispered, "It's okay if you don't have the words yet. Sometimes feelings are too big for words, but you don't have to carry them all alone." Cassy's eyes filled with tears. The storm inside her finally began to soften. She didn't explain everything. She just leaned into Mommy's arms and whispered, "I'm just angry." And that was enough. Anger is a big feeling. Sometimes it feels so heavy we can't explain it, not to ourselves or the people we love. But remember, anger doesn't make you bad. It's just a feeling that needs to be understood. And when you let someone you trust sit beside you, without judgment, without rushing, the storm inside you slowly begins to clear. Have you ever felt angry but couldn't explain why? What do you do when you feel that way? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more thoughtful stories with Princess Poum.